Boxing King Media in association with Boxer. With me on Zoom, delighted to have Spencer Fearon. Spence, as always, appreciate you jumping on after I just called you, asking you if you could do a quick Zoom before I go to bed, as I haven't slept coming off a flight from Poland. Spence, let's jump straight into it.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I've spoken to so many people out there, Barry Jones and Paul Smith and Spencer Oliver, Gareth Davis. Everyone is split, right? Now, I'm going to ask you, what was your opinion? Because you saw it on the TV screen. What was your initial reaction? And then the further reaction once you saw the replay?
The initial reaction, and you know what, Raz, I mean, Assalamu alaikum, bro. Firstly, I'm going to send you the film footage which Daniel Dubois' sister took, because I'm close to the family, of when the rules and instructions of the referee were given, and Don Charles specifically was speaking about the ball protector and how you're going to class low blows. Specifically, he spoke about this. So Don had that inkling. Reason being is because round 9 of USYK AJ 2, anti-Joshua targeted the body and had great success, and yet it was the same referee that was pulling him up on body shots. USYK is, when we only talk about ring generalship, we also got to talk about the smarts of what the man brings in the game. He's very, very clever, and he knows how to manipulate the system. And we saw total manipulation of the system, which, if I was Ukrainian, I'll be all saying that he done exactly the right thing, right? But let's take ourselves out of being Ukrainian sympathizers, because that's what the whole world has become right now. Like, nobody doesn't want to say anything bad about USYK for what he represents, him going fighting for his country and everything else. Take that to one side. And let's just deal with it as a boxing match and what we witnessed in round 5. Round 5, that was a legal shot. That wasn't an illegal shot. That was a legal shot that floored him, right? And really and truly, Daniel Dubois should have woken up this morning and been the unified heavyweight champion of the world. And he was ousted out of that position. And that is the truth. Because if that was anywhere in the world, right? Anywhere in the world, that would have been scored as a knockdown, and he would have gone home being world champ. Anywhere else in the world. You're in Poland, you're not going to get that. They're not, you know what I mean? You could see where all the fanfare and everything else was going. It wasn't going to go Daniel Dubois' way. But Daniel Dubois is, as far as I'm concerned, should be the heavyweight champion of the world this morning. And he's not. And that's sad.
Did you see the post-fight press conference with Usyk standing up, and he was trying to show that, look, this is my navel area. This is where the guard was coming up to. He hit me on this particular point. Did you manage to see that?
Listen, I saw all of that. You know what? You know why you wear a ball protector? It's to protect your balls, right? It is to protect the testicles. That's what it's there to protect. Nothing else, right? The shot wasn't even remotely near there, right? It was on the belt line. I rate former 2-weight world champion and the trailblazer in Timothy Bradley, and his analysis, what he did for ESPN, was saying that it weren't low. And you go speak to a lot of Americans right now. Americans are on this, he got bumped, right? And that's the truth. There was a bump going on there. I don't know what's going to happen, but Daniel Dubois should be heavyweight champion of the world right now. And that's that. And even if, because everything that Usyk was doing, Usyk was choreographing what the referee should do. When he took the shot downstairs, Usyk was like, yo, Bridgen, it's low. Then the referee, oh yeah, it's low. Maybe the referee, he's from Puerto Rico, he's saying, Ruba, I want to go home safely. I want to get on, I want to get on the plane safely. That's what I want to do. I want to go home safely. So all of these things need to be taken into consideration of that. But Frank Warren did say he's going to lobby the decision. Let's see if he does that. I briefly spoke to Martin Bowers this morning, the manager of Daniel Dubois. He was saying exactly the same thing, and I spoke to Don Charles about 7 o'clock this morning, and he was in tears, screaming and shouting. He was in tears. He was broken. He was broken because, as far as he was concerned, this was his opportunity for him to shine. This was opportunity for Daniel Dubois to shine and to become heavyweight champion of the world. And unfortunately, it was taken from him unjustly. Forget about what happened when he got stopped in round 9 and everything else. Forget about all of that. But if you're a fighter and you're seeing and you know, and you go watch, just go watch how the shot was thrown. I've seen low blows being taken care of. You know what I mean? I've seen that when that's happened. That wasn't intentional. It wasn't a low blow. And Usyk don't like body shots. And just like Martin Bakoli was saying that he floored Usyk with a body shot and he don't like it down there, right? We can see even now, and big up Billy Nelson because he always reminds me of that. But we know now Usyk is so fallible to the body. It is unreal, right? And yes, he is very, very clever and he makes boxing very cerebral. You have to not be taken into that cerebralness because when you do that, he drains you. And he does that a lot with all this Doctor Strange voodoo, obia, witchcraft stuff that he does in the ring. He's very clever at that, right? But it can be nullified. It gets nullified by someone going down to the body. I would like to have seen Daniel Dubois if he'd have done a burst when he was downstairs. But it's easier said than done because Usyk knows how to wrong foot you and has got very, very good movement. But seriously, Daniel Dubois should be heavyweight champion of the world this morning.
Spence, I spoke to the referee Lewis Pabon after the fight, and I asked him off camera that did he manage to see the replay, and was he justified by his decision? Because ultimately, Spence, what we also have to understand is everyone on Twitter was analyzing a picture. The referee gets a second to make a decision. So I asked him, did you see the replay, and was your decision justified? And he said, after I saw, because a lot of people came up to me and spoke to me about it, because when I saw the replay, he goes, I was content with my decision.
Yeah, but he has to be. He's the referee and he's got to stand by it because what he does or his decision has reverberated around the world. Yeah? But who has eyes can see. Daniel Dubois should be heavyweight champion of the world right now. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be real. And right is right and wrong is wrong, right? And that was a bad call. And yes, boxing also needs to up its game. Like the decision of the referee, VT needs to be brought in now so we can overanalyze certain things because I rate Timothy Bradley, right? I really do rate him. I think he's a very, very good man as well, right? I rate Timothy Bradley's analysis. And Timothy Bradley, at first, when it first happened, we said, oh, that could have been low. You imagine a guy of 230 pounds hitting you down there, it's gonna weaken your legs and all the rest of who's going for it, right? Then looked at another angle, nah. And this is Timothy Bradley. He's blood, sweat, and tears fire. He's like, nah, bro, that wasn't a low blow. And Daniel Dubois, that broke him. But unfortunately, he should have continued doing and going downstairs to the body. But by then, Usyk recovered and Usyk done what he done, and Usyk got the stoppage win. But you know what? We have to go what's fair, and that wasn't fair. I'm just gonna be real. And you know what? And in the height of everything that's going on right now, I would like to see some form of justice being done for Daniel Dubois. But I think the nice thing is this. Tyson Fury's up in his 30s. Usyk's up in his 30s. Deontay Wilder's up in his 30s. Joshua's up in his 30s. Daniel Dubois 25. There's going to be loads of big nights for him. All he's got to do is just continue applying to learn his trade. I like the fact that he's with Don Charles, and Ali Bashir was in the corner as well. And the next thing, I'm gonna be real. I'm just telling you how it is. And salam alaikum to Ali Bashir because he's a Muslim, but I'm telling you this now, right? I didn't like Ali Bashir getting gas seeing Michael Buffer about, oh yeah, I got to get a picture with you, brother. You're here for a job. I don't like that at all. I just have to say this. Sorry, I don't. If I've got fight, I don't want no one in my group being gassed when they're seeing someone else. You know what I mean? I know that for a fact. You know what I mean? I got my guys, my little nephew, Jonathan Pilar. If I did something like that, he'd pull me to one side and say, "Unks, you don't behave like that. Disgusting." You know what I mean? You're here for a job. You got to do your job, and that's that. And we got to keep on going.
We saw throughout the fight how strong Usyk was. He was controlling majority of the fight. But I don't know if you've seen on Twitter. Could Daniel that when he got, I think it was a jab from Usyk that dropped Daniel. Did Daniel have enough in him to get back up again? It seemed like he'd maybe fatigued a little bit. Some people are saying other things, but what was your analysis of him at that particular stage?
My analysis at that particular stage was that he was broken by the fact that he got reprimanded for knocking down Usyk, and he wasn't awarded the fact that he knocked him down, and really and truly could have been a knockout. And remember, he's still a young kid. He's got a lot to learn, right? Experience-wise, he's not in it in that way. I've seen a lot of people say that he quit. A lot of people online saying that he quit. But I know from where that's coming from. It's because you don't want to give the kid his dues for what he did in the fight. And he could have been broken in there because he tried his hardest, he tried his damnedest. And it's a lot psychologically to go into the lion's den as he did, being in front of like 40 or 50,000 people. That within itself can drain you. And it seemed like he was emotionally drained as well. And that could have played a part to when he did get caught. And we don't know. Usyk was boxing in that fight like he was a puncher, right? So we can't take anything away from Daniel Dubois. What I'm going to take away the positives. And that young man did excellent. I think he was cheated yesterday, whether it was deliberate or not deliberate, he was still cheated, and he still should have been waking up this morning as the unified heavyweight champion of the world. And unfortunately, he's not. And we don't know what that could actually do for him. Just like we've seen this in the past, where guys have come very, very close to reaching that mountaintop. I would say the fight that really stands out in my head was, what's that? March 17th of 1990. Mergic Taylor versus Julio Cesar Chavez, and he was 2 seconds away. And then, even though he became world champion after that, but his career was never the same. I pray and I hope that this isn't going to be the same thing for Daniel Dubois, and that he's gonna take solace in how he performed and the things that he did, and just regroup. And remember, he only did 17 weeks in camp training with Don Charles. It takes a little while to adjust, but I think that's a very, very good partnership, and I think they're gonna come back bigger, better, and stronger. And that's what I'm waiting to hopefully see. You know what I mean, it was a great time.
Final one, Spence. Tyson Fury fights Ngannou. If Tyson Fury comes through Ngannou, which everyone expects him to, for Usyk, is that ultimately the fight left for him to? I'm not saying define his legacy, because he has a legacy being the undisputed cruiserweight champion, but is that the fight of the division that has to take place?
It is the fight of the division that has to take place, but I'm going to be real with you, yeah? On last night's performance that I saw, forget about Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder would completely knock out Usyk. And that's that. Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world. Peace, 2 fingers, I'm out. And join us on The Fight Is Right tonight. Myself, Babatunde Ajayi, we'll be doing a breakdown. We're also going to be joined by Don Charles, but join us tonight on that. And I always big up Boxing King Media. And thank you so much, Raz, for editing the clip of Nigel Benn when he said that I'll give him a backhander. He didn't say he was going to slap Spencer Ole. He said he'd give him a backhander. A backhander, they're showing you that I'm the governor in there. I could have, right? Like you're swatting a fly. But big up Spencer as well, who's my guy. But like I said, thank you for editing that part for me, because, I ain't got a clue about these edit things. But yeah, and big up TalkSport as well. And tell, what's that guy? What's his name?
Simon Jordan?
No, the guy from TalkSport who likes calling my name all of a sudden. What's his name?
Jim White?
No, Jim White's cool. Jim Snow White's cool. What's his name? The other guy.
Simon Jordan.
No, Satan Jordan. Sorry, Simon Jordan. Tell Satan Jordan, yeah? I'm going to send Nigel Benn to give him a backhand as well. Peace, 2 fingers. I'm out. Later.
Fearon, thank you for speaking for Boxing Media. Speak soon.